Hello, this is David Bratanek with Coldwell Banker Southwest Realty. Today we're going to go through the home buying process, stage 3, which is preparing your financial information. So this goes a little bit outside of what a realtor does. Our job is more focused on doing offers and seeing houses and purchasing the housing. But getting the mortgage and financials set up well ahead of time is very important. Especially right now, the market is moving very quickly, and when it's moving so quickly, you need to be ready to make an offer and know that you're going to have financing when it comes to the closing day, that there's going to be money in the bank to transfer to the seller. So the first thing I would do is I will get you in touch with a either a mortgage specialist at a bank or a mortgage broker, and we can talk about some of the benefits of each of those. And sit down with them and go through all of your financial information in order to come up with a pre-qualification that will allow you to better understand where your budget is. There are a lot of budget constraints that the banks put on, and so one of those is that there's a stress test now that came out in 2017 and is still around, and it's 2% higher than the 5-year fixed rate, or it's set at a minimum, and I believe the minimum is 5.25%, but that is subject to change. So you have to qualify actually at a higher rate than what you'd be paying on the 5-year fixed rate. There are also debt service ratios that you need to be aware of. So if you maintain a balance on your credit card, if you have a car payment, or if you have any other sort of regular debts, then those need to be accounted for to make sure that you're not going to be in a position where you can't afford to pay your mortgage back. That is one thing that the banks are concerned about, obviously, is that they're going to be paid back. And they've also added that stress test with the idea that if interest rates go up when you go to renew, that you're not going to be at a point where you can't afford to renew and stay in your house. So getting this information is very critical. I would highly recommend that at this stage you've already met with a realtor. Most realtors are going to tell you the same thing. They also want to protect, as a realtor, I want to make sure that the people that I'm working with are qualified and they can actually afford to buy the houses that we're seeing. If you're limited on that budget, it's important to know well before you go and look at houses in person to try to figure out which ones work best for you. So knowing all this stuff ahead of time makes the whole process simpler. It's pretty easy to do. You need some financial information that the bank will ask you for. Typically that'll be pay stubs or previous year's notice of assessment from Canada Revenue Agency to find out how much money do you make and how much money can you therefore spend on a house. Now, I don't receive any of that information from a mortgage broker or from the bank. I just talk to them, and they usually let me know like this person is going to be okay for their financing. But that becomes really important. The information, and especially if I can get a letter from that bank or from that mortgage broker, that goes a long way in a multiple offer situation, again, which we're seeing a lot of. So having all this stuff done ahead of time, I can't stress it enough. It's very, very important. It makes your whole transaction a lot easier and less stressful when you know in the back of your mind that you will not have a problem getting financing. And if you do have a problem, at the start, it's easy to fix it before you go out and make offers. Much easier than if you've already made an offer conditional on buying and then you find out that something needs to be paid off or something needs to change in order to be able to buy that house. Once you've done that offer, you've got your heart set on that house, and it can be really hard to back away from it later. So I would suggest that make sure you get all this information done ahead of time. And if you have any questions about who I would recommend, or if you're thinking about calling a mortgage broker and aren't sure kind of what questions to ask them, you can feel free to reach out to me anytime and I'd be happy to help. Thanks and have a great day. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to hear more from me. If you have comments, please leave them in the comment section below or contact me. All of my contact information is beside me and below me in the description. Have a great day.